Good evening, folks. Thanks for coming along. Today we're looking at how you can use technology to communicate your message, your business's message, to potential customers. Okay? If anyone's seen any of this before, then feel free to throw rotten fruit or whatever. If I say anything that you don't know, you don't understand, please just stop me and ask. I really don't mind it. I'd rather you stop and ask a question than sit in blissful confusion. Okay? So what we're looking at today is, you may have seen some stuff about marketing from other people, and that might be about more traditional forms of marketing. What we're looking at today is how you can use technology to add to the normal sort of marketing and communications and customer service mix that you might be familiar with. Okay. If you do manage to get hold of the slides, to download the slides, it could be useful because there are some links embedded in the slides which, even if you have a printed copy, wouldn't be much use to you. So, the background to what we're talking about is the fact that traditional broadcast media, such as newspapers and television and radio and so on, have been extraordinarily successful for a large number of years. However, they're now facing a bit of a decline because people are overwhelmed with choice of broadcast media to watch. More newspapers, more television channels, more radio channels and so on. And also because we live in such an information age, people your age, unlike people my age, are much better at filtering out what's relevant to them and what's not. So you guys are probably much better at ignoring the things that you don't want to hear and listening to things you do want to hear. So for instance, nowadays many more people will watch television while also tapping away on a laptop, emailing friends, or reading, or whatever else. And therefore, when commercials come on the TV, you zone out the commercials and concentrate on something else. So the effectiveness of television advertising is perhaps a little less than it was, and it's such a fragmented market, it's very difficult to target people. Okay, and it's very expensive. The more channels there are, effectively, the more expensive TV advertising becomes. So new media is grabbing a bigger share of the marketing pie. Now, quite often through this, I'll talk about the amount of money that the people carrying the adverts make. And the reason we do that is because that's much easier to measure than trying to say what every company spends. But one is the reverse of the other. So by knowing how much money the advertising providers earn, we know how much advertisers are spending. Okay? So I know it seems slightly a backward way to do it, but it is the other side at the same time. We understand, generally, in life, that you don't get something for nothing, and that if you read websites that are free, if you watch commercial television that you don't pay to watch, non-subscription television, you get a lot of adverts, and that's what pays for the medium that you're trying to consume, and that's why you don't need to pay for it. So we understand the less you pay, the more adverts you'll have to encounter. So broadcasters aren't sort of telling us exactly what we're going to watch and when. Consumers are much more likely to record television or use digital television boxes where they can pause and forward wind, pause television and then forward wind through the adverts later, or use personal video recorders, all that sort of thing. So that's another reason why commercial television is a bit more difficult. And also, we've kind of gone full circle. Back in the 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, people used to always talk about entertaining themselves and making their own entertainment. So that might be having a piano in the living room, people have a sing song and do all that sort of thing. And then along came television, and people relied on an external source for entertainment, television. Well, nowadays we've gone back to that thing of people making their own entertainment with what we call user-generated content. It doesn't sound a very exciting term, but that's people making their own entertainment on things like YouTube, podcasts, blogs, where people are creative themselves and create entertainment for their friends and for complete strangers. So, in a way, user-generated content, we're delivering it in a new way, but it's not a new idea. It's just one that our parents' generation forgot. As an example, in the UK last year, Google took in more advertising revenue than Channel 4, quite significantly more. And that happened for the first time 2 years ago. And you can see here, I've listed the advertising revenue for ITV, which is the biggest earner of advertising revenue in the UK. And you can see that that's declining from 1.6 billion in 2006 down to 1.43 billion last year. So what we're inferring from that is that online and new media is starting to take a bigger portion of the marketing mix. So if you're looking at starting your own enterprises, these are the sorts of things to think about. Okay, so that's the background to the talk. I'm not going to necessarily talk to all these slides. A lot of these are here just so that when you, if you have a printed copy, you can read some of the information in them. So that's why some of the slides are quite densely texted as well. But that's for you to read later, really. Or you might even have already read some of them. So, looking at a traditional marketing mix versus sort of an emerging model of marketing mix, and I will apologise for the error in there, it is an error. In the old sort of traditional method, people use billboards, newspaper, cinema, point of sale, advertising, and TV and radio was kind of at the centre of all that. And then the web appeared, and that sort of became linked to television advertising. Different people, different companies managed it to different degrees of success. That's what's the dotted line. The new model, and TV and radio should still be in there, so sorry, I didn't mean to leave those out. Basically has the web at the centre of everything. Most adverts these days direct you to a website. And what we're seeing are things like billboard advertising, radio advertising, TV advertising, magazine advertising, etc. is there to give the brand image something, but not to actually do much more than that, to give brand image and brand recognition. Most of the detail you'll find via the website. And most of the services and products that we use nowadays are much more complicated than products and services that were around 20 or 30 years ago. They're much more sophisticated. So you need to be able to give much more in-depth information. So if you took something like a running shoe, a training shoe, 20 years ago, really they were all much of a muchness. If you look at different running shoes now, there's much more technology in the way that the sole is composed, the different materials used to compose different layers of the sole to protect your feet that much more from shock, to act more as a shock absorber. And there's all sorts of different types of material that can do different things, like allow ventilation in your foot and all that sort of thing. All training shoes, as an example, are much more technical things than they were 30 years ago. You wouldn't try to put all that sort of information in a newspaper ad or in a TV ad. So you think of adverts that you've seen for like Nike, Adidas, etc. The TV ads are quite aspirational, they're about the brand image, and they're directly to go to the website, and there you get the cutout, you get a cut through section of the shoe with showing you all the sort of grains and air sacs and everything inside the sole, to show just what the nice people at the trainer companies have been developing for you. So that's one. The fact that the web is there to give that sort of detail and to allow people to drill down as much detail as they want, or as little as they want, makes sense and works quite well within this emerging media mix.